So moving forward, we're getting ready to pull up Kaydon Finley's film, and he's another dynamic receiver from Texas. He's a 4-star kid. He's a top 100 player, right, Brian, by some outlets. And so you look at him on his On3 profile, he's listed at 6'2", 195, and you guys are going to see it in the film. But some of the stuff that I like seeing about him, man, is, I mean, he has great high point ability. He has a really big catch radius.
Mm-hmm.
And which is something that's going to be really evident on film. But he's not bad after the catch either, honestly, for being a...
Yeah, it's we talk about different types, right? He is more of that guy that's going to do great work before and up to the catch point, where Braden Robinson does great work before and after. Connor Solomon does his best work after, with that speed. And this we talk about different guys. Like Jaden Greathouse can do things after the catch, but what makes him special is his ability, what he can do to get open to make the catch.
Yeah.
And Caden's got a lot of that in him as well. So we'll check the film. And he's another guy, 1,000-yard receiver in high school, which, again, I like that. I like guys that can run. So let's check out Kaydon Finley here real quick. And you guys are going to see very polished, good athlete, right? Like a lot of times you say polished, you automatically think a guy that can't run. He's not the burner the other two kids are. Not even close. He's a completely different type of player, but he's a good athlete. Good feet, smooth. You can see him kind of in space. You see really good foot quickness when he's getting in and out of breaks. He's got nice hips. You can sink his hips as a route runner. Knows how to get open. Knows how to manipulate receivers. Tough kid at the catch point. Yeah, great block there. I mean, his second highlight on film was a block. That's going to win me over, Trev. This kid knows how to get to me. Nice little jet sweep. Don't know that you're going to be doing a ton of that with him at Notre Dame with other guys, but look at the ability to kind of make that guy miss. Get vertical, find the opening. It's just another example of a kid that has that high football IQ, knows how to win, knows how to get open. There's a lot to like. Initially he's thinking I'm blocking down, quick recognition. That guy's gone. Let me go get vertical and then make a block, drive that guy out of bounds and pancake him. Right. Like, we've seen 5 plays with this kid. 2 of them are him, blocking somebody, dominating somebody.
Yep.
And those are things you like to see. Look at that balance, that ability to make guys miss. Again, he's not the same kind of after the catch guy that Braden Robinson is, but he's not a slouch after the catch either. This is the stuff I love: the body control, the extension, right? I mean, like a little bit more of a better route there, but man, that's great body control, great hand-eye coordination, tracks the ball very well, knows how to get open. I was looking at this at first, Trevor, and I'm thinking, what is going on with their field? Like, is it wet there? Oh. And then eventually I figured out it's the state of Texas.
Yeah.
But it took me a second.
It's too big.
Yeah.
Like
I had to look at it and it was like, what is going on? Their field is jacked up. And then, like, only state I've ever been to where I went to a hotel and the waffle maker literally make waffles in the shape of the state of Texas. Again, this is not great speed, but he's good speed. But look how quickly he comes off the line, though. This is better urgency than we see from some of Notre Dame's current receivers.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, look at the urgency he comes off with. I got to eat up that cushion, get over top of the guy, tracks the ball very well. I like that kind of stuff, man. Like, yeah, okay, let's say he's a 4.55, 4.6. I don't know if that's accurate, but he plays that way right now. Right. I mean, he gets to that top speed right now. So again, he's no slouch, and he's probably faster than 4.6. I'm just making the point, right? But he knows how to play. He knows how to play to his full speed. You see him playing a lot of slot here in high school. I like him there. He could play there. I also like, and that's why we compared him to Jaden Greathouse. But I also really like him as that Z position where he can be a really good route runner at Notre Dame. Because a lot of stuff he does in the slot here is stuff that Notre Dame asks their Z to do.
Yeah.
But as a guy with some positional flexibility, they run a lot of verts that requires him to just read the coverage and get open. Again, I like to see him push the lever, push the cushion a little bit more here before he bends it. But look at the body control. Look at the concentration with him when that ball. I mean, that DB actually plays that ball pretty well.
Yeah.
It's a really nice ball by the quarterback to drive it low, and then he just goes and makes a great catch on it. He's a really good football player, man. His dad is Jermichael Finley, as I mentioned earlier. So obviously he's got good schooling. His dad was an NFL tight end for a long time. You see this route. I'd like to see him sell the vertical just a little bit more off the line, but look, nice outcut, slanting out kind of deal. Good route there. Really good. I mean, really clean hands, Trev. Like, doesn't fight the ball. It's a phenomenal catch. You know, just you see it where he's just a natural pass catcher. It's just like catching a football is something that's just like easy to him.
Yep. Very soft hands, does a good job tracking the ball, great job at making contested catches. And like that's this part of the highlight film. This is the one that I got to, and it was which was something that at points throughout the season, Notre Dame's receivers didn't do a great job of doing. It came back on late in the season, but making contested catches wasn't something that Notre Dame's receivers did a whole lot of. And so watching this kid do it his junior year of high school, it leaves you a lot of room for promise.
Like, look at him level off there once he gets behind the linebacker. That's just smart football play right there. You don't keep drifting. You don't know what's behind you. You make that safety have to go as far as possible. Lets him get some more yards after the catch. Here he is playing outside. As I said, you see him inside and outside. He can do both. Another contested catch. I'd like to see him high point. Like, that's one of those ones to say, try to go up more. Explode up more. But again, it's great concentration. He makes the catch. And he seems to take a lot of pride in dominating people. And that's when you know you've got a guy that understands it. Being a great receiver is all of it. Yeah, it's not a bad catch right there either. Look how smooth he is, though, Trev. Like, and again, see, like super twitching, explosive? No. Look how smooth he is. Look at him find this open spot. Like, he's just vertical. And then, oh, by the way, I'm going to cut outside here, and I'm going to score. And he plays against outstanding competition. You know, I mean, just really, really outstanding competition. Nice little, I mean, this is easy. He's coming off vertical. Looks like that his first couple steps look like a go route, right? Cornerback bails, and then he's like, okay, let me just snap it off here, find that open zone, and then boom, maximize my yardage potential on this play.
Yeah. Acceleration was pretty good there too.
Yeah. Tough.
Goodness.
All three of these kids are strong, but especially the two Texas kids. Like, you really see it with them, just the strength with the ball in their hands, and then obviously his blockers. I wonder what that kid said about him before the game. It seems like that kid
I was just about to
might
say.
have done a little something to him because he took that a little personally.
Yeah.
But those are the three receivers that we looked at, Trev, that Notre Dame had on campus this weekend. If you want to watch more, his sophomore film is also pretty good. Wore a different number then, but a lot of the same stuff. I mean, his sophomore film is really impressive as well. Good sized kid. Lot to like, man. And you guys see it in the film. These are three very different football players. Like, none of them, there's different things they can all do, but not like Kaydon Finley is not very similar. Is not at all similar to Braden Robinson, but there's things they both can do similarly. He's not similar to Connor Solomon, but there's things that they can do similarly. Same with Connor and Braden. They're three very different football players that combine together to make a very good receiving core if you got all three of them. And then you throw Dylan Faison in the mix, who's also really good. Brian Smith was down at he was at the, I think, Battle Miami a week or two ago, and he's kept texting me, man, Dylan Faison's the real deal. You know, and Brian doesn't really get impressed like that. I mean, it takes a lot to get him that fired up about a guy because, you know, Brian's been doing this a long time, but just kept raving about him and Thomas Davis. He was impressed with what he saw from Thomas Davis Jr. as well at that camp too. So, you got to make but here's the thing. They were in position with some guys early last year, like Dalen McCutcheon and some guys like that. And Kaydon Finley, to me, is an example of this offensive staff not making the same mistake twice. Because they slow played Dalen McCutcheon last year because they focused more on guys that had more quote-unquote talent or speed. A guy like Derek Meadows instead of a guy like Dalen McCutcheon. Dalen McCutcheon is not a burner. He's an outstanding wide receiver, though, and highly productive, very good football player. And they made the mistake. They passed on him and went after guys that were a little bit more, athletically gifted. And this year they're doing both. And a guy like Kaydon Finley is the kind of guy like a year ago, maybe the recruiting coordinator and offensive staff, maybe they would have slow played more. But I love the fact that Mike Brown and is like, no, we need guys like this. Yes, we need Braden Robinsons. Yes, we need the Connor Solomons, but we absolutely need kids like this too. Because this is the kid, that makes that play on 3rd and 5 like Jaden Greathouse made multiple times this season against A&M, against Penn State. Like, he'll make those plays. but he can also, you know what I mean? Like Jaden Greathouse isn't just going to go run go routes by people all day, but he can make plays. But it's the contested back shoulder he made against Penn State. It's things like that you're like, that's the kind of stuff. The contested back shoulder catch he made against Georgia Tech. That's the kind of stuff where, no, it doesn't require you to be like a burner type of guy, but those are big time football plays you need. But on 3rd and 5, that's where you're looking for. And that's what Kaydon Finley brings to the table. That's what Jaden Greathouse brings to the table. And you need guys like that. And that's why I love how these 3 kids complement each other. So when there's other receivers on the board, like I know Naeem Burrows is a guy that the staff is still very much looking at. We're not saying these are the top 3 guys on the board. Trent Mosley is a guy that they're definitely still looking at. They'll get him on campus again. We're just talking about these 3 guys because they were on campus this weekend. And we'll eventually break down film of Naeem Burrows and Trent Mosley when they get back on campus again as well. But I love the receiver board. It's not real big, so you need to close. But I love the receiver board so far, Trevor. Like, you give me any 5 of the Connor, Braden Robinson, Kaydon Finley, Trent Mosley, and Naeem Burrows. You give me any 3 of those 5, any 2 of those 5, and this is a really good receiver class to go with Dylan Faison. You give me any 3 of those 5, and this is an outstanding receiver class. And that's just not me. I mean, that's recruiting rankings feel that way. The offer lists tell you that. And I'm telling you that because of how I evaluate the film. So whatever metric you like to use, this is an outstanding receiver class if they can get 3 of those 5 guys to go with a guy like Dylan Faison. So, yeah, closing time is in front of you now, Trevor, if you're Notre Dame. And there's a lot of work to be done here over the next 4 or 5 months. But they're putting themselves in position to where they're in a good spot with all those guys. It's just about closing the deal. And that's what we're going to find out if they can do that or not. But I love the board, early board.
And hopefully they can, because obviously the film speaks for itself. The offer list speaks for itself, and the talent's definitely there. So it's going to be exciting to see how this unfolds over the next 4 to 6 months. And hopefully some of them will find homes in South Bend, right? So, Look, guys, that's going to do it for the recruiting hour. It's going to do it for film, but don't go anywhere. We do still have a mailbag that we're going to get to. Again, we're going to be doing a mailbag for about an hour, and we're going to be covering some of the questions that you all have. This isn't specific to just the message boards, unlike Buy, Sell, Hold. This is for the people that are in the live chat and that have been watching with us. So before we get there, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and share this podcast with your friends and family. And, of course, the best way to support what we do here is subscribe to the premium message boards at boards.irishbreakdown.com.